Welcome back to another episode of Count Stackula on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Today, we've got some more poured silver. We've got a little unboxing. Let's get right into it. Alright, so we'll start with this unboxing that I got from the coin shop in Canada. Gotta love their packaging. Very simple, always fits in the mailbox. Simple yet effective. Haven't had any issues with it yet, and they conceal the name of where it's coming from, so there's no indication that it's a coin shop, which is cool. Not to mention the fact that if you live in the United States and you buy from Canada, guess what, guys? No sales tax. So let's see, what did we get? Because I usually don't buy coins anymore, but I had to get this one. It is a 2023, still with the Queen, but awesome. Tuvalu. Have you guessed yet? That's right. We've got the Gods of Olympus series as Ares, and this is a continuation. I actually really like what they've done with it. It seems almost as if they brought back the same artist that did all of the work on the previous 6 to do this one, because the finish, the toon-like appearance of the character, pretty much everything fits the overall theme of the series very well, I'd say. If anything, I'd say this one maybe lacks a little bit in the detail, and but these are fun coins to just kind of stare at and figure out what the heck is going on in the background, because honestly, I can't really make out a whole ton, except for there's a nice little warrior here in the back, a ton of arrows flying above, and other than that, I just see a couple more helmets and maybe some shields here, but it looks like our character representation of the God of War standing on what appears to be a helmet with his spear. So very cool design. We'll keep that in focus. And since we've I've drawn your attention over here to these fossils, which are pretty freaking cool, so let's take a look at some of these fossils, and we'll find out why do I have fossils on the channel today. So these are actually Mako shark teeth fossils from a couple 100 million years ago, maybe. Well, anywhere between I'd say 2 and 150 million years, probably, could be, who knows. But they are well preserved, and they were found locally in the state of Florida, northern Florida, by a friend of mine over at DiggingScience YouTube channel. You can go ahead and check out his YouTube channel. I'll try to link it in the description. But very cool fossils I picked up from him that he found in the swamps there, and the reason why I wanted to pick up some fossils, other than the fact that they're just pretty freaking awesome, was that I thought, this might be a cool project to potentially cast into silver, since I've been doing a lot of poured silver lately. And so we'll get to that in just a minute, but let's review in case you're tuning into my channel for the first time. I've got, on top of my 3D printed boxes here, I've got some really awesome poured silver that I hand poured myself, and we're gonna take a look at these. These were the first pieces that I ever did, and I toned them up real nice. Then I went ahead and I did these pieces with the same method and did not tone them. And then the next series that I revealed on the channel last week were these guys. And actually, they've changed since last week. They had a little bit more roughness to them, but I cleaned them up quite a bit, and I was able to, make them look a little bit better, in my opinion. So let's just take a closer look at how they turned out after I was able to kind of remove some of the extra bubbles that had, found their way into the casting process, and cleaned up the edges on this one in particular just to see how it looked. It was ultimately a little bit too much work to try and clean up all the edges, and it does remove silver unnecessarily. So I kind of decided, I'm not going to really spend too much time cleaning up the edges and just go with, kind of a rough edge to keep more silver from, being lost. So, but yeah, as you can see, even some of those imperfections were able to, remove some of the worst of them and ultimately come up with a pretty cool raw silver casting. These in particular were the detail that I was hoping for, again, comparing the two, you can see the difference, right? But again, I would say, yeah, it's really nice to have high detail, but it's not essential. You can put some cool toning on it, and you get the idea, and it looks cool, and it pops a little bit better anyway. But yeah, if you were to, do the side-by-side on these, you're going to see a little bit loss of detail, right? And that's having to do with the type of method that I chose to do with the silver pouring. Now, I have since advanced on and made a few different designs, but since we already talked about the fossils, I want to take a look. No, we'll wait on those. Let's take a look and keep it so we can see what's going on and take a look at some more of the dragons. Now, I did do these with Lost Wax casting, so you should get high detail, but unfortunately, as you can see, I think what happened is I pulled the vacuum on the casting a little too soon, and it didn't quite get into all the grooves of the mold, and it didn't give me quite as high detail as previously. However, it still looks cool. It's still worth keeping. And the main benefit that I got from this third casting with Lost Wax is there were no bubbles. So I finally figured out how to do it without bubbles. So that's kind of huge. And we're gonna just kind of take a look at a few of these that came out of that bunch from this flower pattern, which ultimately I think is, while very cool, the texture, when you compare it to, just some generic poured silver, it's actually pretty cool, just like to have this kind of texture on there. And you can pretty much tell that it's flowers. But in terms of the design, I think I need to rework the whole flower design because it's just scrambled. You can't really tell which way is up, which way is down, and it's just too much detail, a little too much going on. So it's hard to see, where all the flowers are. Now, it might change a little bit if I were to antique this thing, and I'll consider that as I have a lot more pieces now to play with the finishes. But now we're getting into some cooler stuff. This is the first time I was able to knock out the Pegasus design finally. And while it didn't come out perfect, it did come out, and I'm pretty happy with the results. It actually, the imperfections actually kind of make it really unique and cool. There's a little void right there. It's a little grainy, probably due to some of the ash left over inside the mold. But it just kind of looks aged. It looks cool, and the design is there, and yeah, it's a stacker. So that really, really came out cool. There's another thing that I'm really excited to share with you guys, and might as well take a look at it now because it is special about this piece. So last time I was complaining about the weight, not being able to get 2 ounces, and I was ready to give up, but guess what, guys? Look at that. Perfect 2-ounce Troy piece. Okay, so that's what I was shooting for. And some of the other ones are slightly under. This is slightly under, but let's take a look at, we'll get this back in play a little later, but let's take a look at another piece that I think came out great. Although, again, all of these pieces don't have as much detail as they should because I probably pulled the vacuum too soon, and that's why I also have some defects here, like voids and maybe a little rougher surface finish due to the ash inside the mold. But I'm going to work on those details little by little. Each time I'm going to get better, and ultimately I'm going to have this thing perfected down to a T, down to the letter. So obviously this is my Tiger design, which I'm really proud of, and I think it come out pretty good. I don't know yet whether it will stack. I think it'll stack. It should stack, but I won't really know until I get another piece. This is not exactly 2 ounces. All these new ones, they're about 1.9, with the exception of the the Pegasus, this guy, and one other, which I'm going to share right now. Bam, look at that. We've got Skulls and Roses. I'm actually kind of calling this design Love and Mortality, but it is pretty cool. I think it would benefit from getting another attempt and really trying to bring out that detail. But on both sides, it looks really kick-ass. And this is another win for finally figuring out how to get a piece that is exactly 2 ounces Troy. So that is huge. We definitely have made some strides in silver pouring recently, and I have yet to mark all these up, but I mean, as they are, they're really freaking cool. As they are right now, they're really freaking cool. So did I save the best for the last? I don't know, I'll let you be the judge, but let's take a look at how my shark teeth castings came out. This one, a lot like the other ones in the bunch, had a little issue also with a little void, probably because of not pulling the vacuum. But this is basically how it came out right after. I mean, it came out beautiful. Like, I didn't even do any polishing, any finishing, no tumbling or anything whatsoever, except for cutting off the sprue and trying, to remove any visible signs of the sprue. But I think it came out so awesome. I'm totally in love with this. I mean, imagine just putting like a little bit of a little pendant or a little hook on there, so it could be on a necklace. That is pretty sweet. We'll weigh it in a second one, but let's just take a look at the original side by side and see how did we do. I think it looks awesome, with the exception of that void at the bottom. It's pretty spot on. What do you think? And I just love the fact that it's a fossil. Nobody's doing this stuff, and at least not that I know of. So it's just a really cool piece. Let's take a look at the other one, which again came out even better than the other one. The shape of this is just so cool, and you can look at the original. Is there a void at the bottom? Maybe just the tiniest one there, but honestly, it's a silver fossil. It's so cool. I love the way it came out. I think I'm definitely gonna be doing more fossil silver pours, just like I did here, because this is really unique, you know? It's really freaking cool. Don't even need to polish these guys up. They just, you know, that's why they look a little bit different. These have been tumbled, whereas these just, you know, right out of the mold, pretty much, once cleaned up. Yeah. So that is the silver that I wanted to share today. I'm really happy with the way things are going with the pouring, and I think that we're definitely going to have some really nice pieces coming soon. And to me, it's like, yeah, I want as great of detail as I can get out of these pieces, but it's definitely a learn as you go kind of process. I don't think I'll be remelting any of these because I like to just keep them as a reminder of my, you know, progress in pouring silver and getting better and better, because it definitely takes a lot of practice. It's not something that comes, you know, easily. So, but I'm having too much fun with it, to be honest. It's just so great. In terms of the 3D printing, I've got a new product idea that I'm looking forward to making, and probably by the next time I make another video, at least some of these are going to be toned up differently. I think I'm going to experiment a little bit with some more toning and seeing what kind of interesting colors I can get on these pieces. Yeah, just learn from my mistakes. At this point, the mistakes that I'm making are, in my opinion, kind of minor, and that's why I've decided, you know, it's worth keeping. And also the fact that, you know, okay, I've achieved like my goal of getting 2-ounce pieces exactly with these two. I'm pretty psyched about that. Let's take just a quick look, because you're probably curious about how much these shark teeth weigh. So, and you know, just which one do you think is heavier, by the way? Just take a guess, leave it down in the comments, and then let's go ahead and weigh it. All right, so put your guess down. All right, here we go. So this is the 1/2 ounce, okay? Pretty much just a 1/2 ounce. Now, did you guess that this one was more or less? Here we go. Yeah, so this is like the almost 3/4 ounce piece. So it's actually, because it's so much thicker here than this guy, that extra weight. Okay, but I love that, you know, I mean, to me, they feel like almost like an ounce. I mean, they don't feel like the weight of an ounce, but they look like they could easily be an ounce. But yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome fractionals. Shark teeth fractionals. Okay, there's gonna be more of these coming. I actually have 2 that I haven't yet even made molds of. And now that I'm kind of into these fossils, I think we're gonna see more interesting fossils coming soon. So with the 3D printed boxes, like I said, I've got a new product that I'm anxious to put out, and I had some questions about colors. So far, I've just been doing the black because I think it looks really great, and you know, it's easier to just do one color. I think it's a nice neutral look. But if you are interested in having me do colors, there's a possibility. It's an easy fix to do. I can get almost any color, except that with different colors means sometimes different characteristics of the filament, and I have to dial in the settings, but we can potentially look into more colors. Definitely let me know if you're interested in that. But with this new product that I have in mind, I'm definitely going to try out a different color, and you'll see why, because it's kind of a little challenge involved. But hopefully we'll get to that next week or within next 2 videos, and you'll see what the hell I'm talking about. But that's going to do it for us today, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video with Count Stackula. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you like the content that you see. And the more subscribers we get, the bigger we can grow this channel. We can start doing some cool giveaways and expand. So give it a share as well. All right, thank you so much. Keep tuning in, subscribe, hit that bell, smash that like button, and we'll catch you on the next one. This is Count Stackula signing out. Peace.